Usyk as he defends his Cruiserweight Championship of the world against a former American Olympian, Michael Hunter. There's a look at Usyk, a highly unusual fighter for somebody at 200 pounds. He bounces around the ring like a welterweight or a middleweight, throws as many jabs as anybody in the sport. In one recent fight, he threw 99 jabs in one round, which is an astonishing CompuBox number. And there's Michael Hunter, the opponent. You may remember his father, Mike the Bounty Hunter, who was a fringe heavyweight contender back in the 1980s and had some noteworthy wins. Michael was the American representative in this weight class at the London Olympic Games in 2012, where he lost to well-known Russian star Oleksandr Beterbiev. Now he gets a chance for prominence if he can upset Usyk here tonight. Artur Beterbiev, I should say. Too many Alexanders in my head. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape now for Usyk, who's one of those Alexanders, against Michael Hunter. And you see there's a 2-year age advantage for young Hunter, a 1-inch height advantage for Oleksandr Usyk, an arm length advantage of 2 inches measured from the armpit to the end of the fist for Hunter. They both weighed in a little bit under 200, and tonight Usyk has done more rehydrating, going up to 207. It's quite unusual to see a fighter weigh in at 198 and then step on our unofficial scale 24 hours later and weigh 197.5, as is the case for Michael Hunter. Both fighters are already in the ring. The crowd's very excited, as I mentioned. Let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM National Harbor, Oxon Hills, Maryland, International Boxing Hall of Fame promoter Mr. Bob Arum and Top Rank Incorporated proudly present an evening of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment, live on HBO. Sponsored by Kidder Sports, Tecate Barn Bold, and the MGM National Harbor, an MGM Resort luxury destination. This fight presented to you also in association with K2 Promotions. All bouts tonight sanctioned by the Maryland State Athletic Commission. The 3 judges assigned for this contest, David Braslow, Lynn Carter, and Jaime Garrioa, and the referee in charge of the action at the bell, Bill Clancy. And now, for Jim Lampley's birthday, let's get this party started! 12 rounds of boxing, 2 undefeated fighters, somebody's has got to go. This is for the WBO Cruiserweight World Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red with gold, official weight 198 pounds. As a professional, he has a perfect record consisting of 12 fights, 12 victories, including 8 wins by knockout. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, the undefeated challenger, Michael Hunter. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white with black, officially weighing in at 199.4 pounds. His record also, like his opponent, a perfect one. 11 fights, 11 victories, 10 wins by knockout. He's Ring Magazine's best cruiserweight in the world. Dame Gospoda do Simropol, Ukraine, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the world, Oleksandr Alexandrovich Usyk.
Let's go, fighter in chief second. Ready, sir. Bring it in, Michael. Bring it in, sir. All right, Alex. Yeah. All right, gentlemen, we're scheduled for 12 rounds. WBO Cruiserweight Championship of the World. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. You must obey my commands. Both your trunks are perfect. I want all your punches above the line. Above the line. Yes. Let's touch gloves. Good luck and God bless.
Good luck. All right. You heard Michael Buffer mention it, and I'd just like to wish my dear friend, our colleague, Jim Lampley, a very happy birthday, Jim. You're the best, and we are all so thrilled to spend your birthday with you. And in honor of your birthday, not only are we going to get to see maybe the best pound-for-pound fighter of the world, Lomachenko, but an Oleksandr Usyk, probably the most talented and skilled fighter north of light heavyweight in the entire world, and he's in with a real fighter in Mike Hunter.
Now that's interesting, because you just said the most talented and skilled fighter north of light heavyweight, meaning that you think Usyk is as talented or more so than anybody in the heavyweight division. And not to get too far ahead of ourselves, because he has an assignment in front of him in Michael Hunter, but that's an ambition of his down the road, is to perhaps become a meaningful heavyweight.
We'll see if he has the size for it, but in terms of his talent and skill, yeah, I'd say he's the #1 guy north of light heavy.
I say he's close to it, but I think, the jury's still out on that. I think beating Hunter, if he beats Hunter or knocking Hunter out, I think that'd be a step towards that way.
Well, and of course, we're going to see the supposed next heavyweight sensation, Anthony Joshua, perhaps April 29 in London against Vladimir Klitschko, and he'll have something to say about what happens in the heavyweight division in the future if he can get past Klitschko. But in the meantime, Usyk off to an early start against Hunter. He doesn't always get that jab going at high intensity in round one, Bernard. Gets a little bit of a look at his opponent before he decides that he's ready to start throwing it over and over and over again, which has become his pattern when he's hot.
Well, Usyk did say at the fighters meeting that he's a slow starter, and I believe that Hunter, responded when I asked him about what if he starts slow, that he would jump on him real fast and make him fight faster than he normally would do coming out for the first few rounds. But Usyk is doing what he said he would do. He said he's going to come out, he's going to figure it out, he's going to see what he has in front of him. But right now, I think he should throw some jabs. I think he should be a little bit more aggressive and not sort of waiting for Hunter to counter.
He's a slow starter, Usyk. And he's now in consecutive fights here on HBO in with fighters who are not easy to look really good against because they're good defensive fighters. And yet he was able to win his last fight by a knockout, and I'm sure he hopes to reproduce that here against undefeated Mike Hunter.
There's a hard left hand over the top by Usyk, and he wings the left hand again. Usyk won the Cruiserweight Championship last year from Christian Glowacki of Poland. Glowacki had beaten Marco Huck, who had held the title through 13 title defenses. So he's the new big thing in the Cruiserweight division.
The Cruiserweight division really doesn't have big things since Evander Holyfield, really.
But it's a start. The Cruiserweight division is a start to a heavyweight division, and the heavyweight division right now is really for taking, especially after Klitschko and Joshua squares off. But, a southpaw versus the orthodox. We say it's a southpaw, and Hunter is the orthodox fighter. It seems the position is not comfortable on either guy's side. Either guy seems like kind of tentative.
Comes to a close with Usyk firing with both hands at the end of the round, and this crowd apparently heavily populated by Ukrainian Americans or Ukrainian expats, those who are fans of these fighters, making a lot of noise for Usyk in the first round.
Good? Yes. It's very nice. Defense good. You strong, you fast, okay? Nice, relax. Nice, relax, okay? I got you. Yeah. Good. Smart. He moved, no problem. You aim here. He moved his head, you aim here. Punch here. Okay? No here because he moved. You punch here, you punch here, you punch here. No here. Okay? You ponyo? Yes, I'm okay. Very good. Deep breath. Second down. Way to work, man. Keep that head moving. Step back.
Round two begins. Michael Hunter of the United States in the red trunks with gold trim. Oleksandr Usyk of Ukraine in the Ukrainian colored trunks.
Alexander
crowd chanting for him.
Alexander Corner, Jim was telling him to shoot for the chest and let his head run into the punch, shoot for the chest, and then throw that straight left hand up top, I assume. But, he must throw more than one jab because Hunter is looking to counter with his right hand.
Not only does Usyk have the gold medal in the Olympics and a lot of amateur championships internationally, but at 30 nowadays, that's your physical prime. He's a mature fighter, and it comes across, I think, even in that first round against Mike Hunter, who has a quick boxing mind. Usyk's mind is working overtime, it seems to me, Bernard.
Well, it is working overtime because, again, he's a slow starter, but you'll see him start moving up in his quickness and thinking and punching as the round goes on. Hunter should try to make him avoid that and try to keep him in that same slow mode that he's used to coming out, in the first 3 rounds. And you know what Hunter needs to do more? I think he needs to jump on Usyk to make him fight harder than he expects to fight in this early in the fight.
All the best fighters in the world, especially the guys who aren't huge punchers, the quickness of their boxing brain is what separates them, and Usyk thinks fast.
One thing I do like about Usyk is that he covers real good. If you look at Hunter, he swings wild. There are a lot of arm punches and not leverage punches, where Jim, he can get a reaction from Usyk. He's throwing more arm punches, desperate punches, more or less than punches that really count and matter.
I see Hunter trying to do the right thing, trying to punch with Usyk, landed a jab doing that. He's fighting cute, but Usyk may be cuter.
He's definitely got a tighter defense and got a more direct punch coming straight down, from the pipe, trying to hit the chest, trying to hit the arms, and that's with the corner totem to continue to try to throw that right jab and land it straight to the chest.
Keep that one right. Keep it going. I don't like it.
Usyk still trying to find that metronome rhythm which has defined his early career. Hunter working both sides. Longtime boxing fans may remember Michael Hunter's father, a cruiserweight and heavyweight French contender who went by Mike the Bounty Hunter and registered wins over Dwight Cowie, Pinklin Thomas, Oliver McCall before his untimely death in 2006 at the age of 46. Tonight, Michael Hunter Jr. looks to win a title belt, something his father was never able to do.
Oh man, I was on his coattail every second of the day since I was little. If you ever seen him in the ring, you wouldn't forget him because he was very unorthodox. They always called him in to be the opponent and stuff like that, but he was like a rough road warrior. From my knowledge, he was getting into an altercation with 2 undercover cops, and fortunately he got shot. So he passed away in '06. And I really didn't go too far into finding out the reason or how it happened and all that. But I just knew I had a mission to do. That was my idol and the reason why I'm here. I always think about what would he want me to do, and so he's always with me.
Max Kellerman, you have any specific memories of Mike the Bounty Hunter?
He was a guy who, there are a lot of talented fighters in boxing. Not everyone has what Bernard Hopkins has and had, which is the kind of discipline and professionalism to get the most out of his ability. And Mike the Bounty Hunter was one of those guys where you felt like had he had the kind of professionalism to get the most out of his ability, he could have really achieved a lot in boxing. As it was, he had some very good wins.
In a 10-round fight, we go to our unofficial scorer, Harold Letterman, here in round 3. Harold, how'd you score the first 2?
Okay, Jim, I got a 1-1, 19-19. In round 1, I thought Usyk pulled out the round at the very end by landing some really hard shots. But in round 2, Mike Hunter went to the body, and I thought he landed some really good body shots with that right hand. I tell you the truth, watch the way he bangs the body. Mike Hunter is definitely a body puncher from what I see, and I think he did real well in the second round. So I've got it all even, 19-19, 1 round apiece.
And let me correct myself, this is not a 10-round fight. It's a 12-round fight because Usyk is defending the Cruiserweight Championship. Normally, we should have waited until round 4 to go to Harold. That would have been the normal pattern, but I jumped the gun, so I gave you a little extra bonus scoring from Harold.
That's good. That's producing out of you, Jim. Extra Harold, nothing wrong with that.
I was just eager. I wanted to hear it.
Watching Hunter do a veteran move. He pits his left hand to block Usyk's right hand, because he's southpaw, and he tries to counter with the right hand when Usyk misses, or when he blocks it like a shield and he comes with the right hand. Hunter comes to try to counter him with that right hand.
Right now, Hunter's timing really good, hitting Usyk, engaging when Usyk is not expecting it. Has a real offbeat rhythm.
Watch the foot movement of Hunter. Hunter is not standing still. He's giving subtle movements to the left and right. That's important for positioning, and it's making Usyk really resets himself and miss the target when he steps forward.
So Michael Hunter, with his movement and with his quick punching, is giving Oleksandr Usyk trouble here in round number 3. And at this moment, Hunter in this round is landing punches while Usyk is not. He's throwing more than Usyk, and Usyk has been thrown off a little bit by the rhythm of Michael Hunter in the fight.
And I believe Hunter, Max, I don't know if you agree, is winning this round.
Oh, big. He's winning the round big so far, and he's taken Usyk's left hand away by staying away from that side. He's stepping around Usyk's right foot, and Usyk's having to cross his left hand all the way over his body, and it's missing the target, and when it lands, it doesn't have a lot on it.
But will Michael Hunter have the mental discipline and also the mental toughness to stand in there? Because he just got hit. And I think it more woke him up than hurt, but if he had the mental discipline to continue to keep going through, then we can see something here real special.
Well, Usyk needed something positive to take out of the round, and he got it with that left hand that drove Hunter into the corner toward the end of the round. But through most of the round, Michael Hunter was giving Oleksandr Usyk all he could handle. And there's a look at Alexander Gvozdyk, and on the right side, Vasily Lomachenko, as they watch their countryman and root for him to do better than was the case there in round number 3.
Okay?
Yes. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath.
Smart, more combo, fast feet, pop, pop, fast and combo, okay? And more levaya, strong levaya.
Power punches in the 4th round. Hunter landed 11 to only 9 for Usyk. Further evidence that Hunter was getting what he wanted out of that round. Usyk's trainer is the veteran Canadian chief second, cut man, helper, and trainer Russ Anber. Does a little bit of everything, and you heard him between rounds. Fast feet, need quicker movement. Well, that's exactly what Hunter had in that round.
I think the importance of the right hook Usyk landed was actually to give Hunter something to think about while moving clockwise.
But I think Hunter put enough action in the round to win that round.
Easy.
Even though he took a pretty good shot with the left hand. But I'm starting to see Hunter go back to what he was doing the round before that. It's step to the side, move, throw combinations, and have Usyk churning, confusing, make him wait, make him hesitate.
And he has to move in both directions, but primarily you see Hunter wanting to move clockwise. And Usyk's right hook could make him think twice about doing that, moving him in line to the left hand, which Usyk would like to land. That was a really good round for Hunter. Not only did he move well, Bernard, but not every punch was thrown with maximum effort. He was tip, 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 and then a shot.
He's sort of telegraphing or softening Hunter up, thinking that these punches he can take, and then boom, here comes the left hand that really will hurt him if he catches him flush.
One thing Hunter has done is to quiet the crowd. And early on, you'd have thought we were in Ukraine. Thought we were in
if you're fighting a fighter like Usyk, who has a big fan base here, you want to take the air out of the balloon right away.
Is that a cut over Usyk's right eye?
Well, I saw a red spot outside the eye between rounds. Have not yet seen a flow of blood. Usyk, a couple of body shots as he starts going very concertedly to the body.
Usyk's landing the heavier artillery, but that's partly by design with Hunter. He's not trying to land anything huge, just he's connecting.
But Hunter cannot stay there. Because I believe Usyk is much stronger when it comes to inside fighting, and he must keep him outside and churn him. The feet is important for Hunter. The movement is important for him to continue to do this.
And now Usyk, seemingly on his own, because I didn't hear Russ Anber mention this specifically, has gone to the body attack here in round number 4. throwing many shots around the waistline of the ribcage as he tries to change the momentum of the fight.
He's also imposing his physical strength, as Bernard alluded to in this round, because Hunter's boxing was really giving him fits in the third round, and he went to something else here, which is to impose his size and strength. Usyk.
Hard left hand by Usyk.
You know, Hunter takes a pretty good punch because before this round, he took a good punch and he took it well. Now what he needs to do is continue to try to pull him in and moves to the left or right and try to make Usyk pay like he just did with a left hook.
Good left hook inside by Hunter.
Two very skillful cruiserweights.
Exciting fight so far. May 6th. Don't miss the pay-per-view showdown between fellow Mexican superstars Canelo Alvarez and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 2 weeks later, May 20, Terrence Crawford returns to the ring to defend his 140-pound title against 2008 gold medalist Felix Diaz of the Dominican Republic. That'll be in Madison Square Garden. And just announced this week, the June 17 rematch between Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. Ward scored a controversial decision win over Kovalev last November.
All right, step around. And you can work with him inside a little bit.
You see what you bring, right? Step around. Why we tagging off? Look at me. Where my hands belong.
Jump on.
Keep the fucking pressure. Keep pressure. And there you can see the abrasion outside the right eye of Oleksandr Usyk. Not bleeding yet, but perhaps he could. And now he flashes a wide grin at Bernard Hopkins as he nods at him coming back into the ring.
Yeah, well, I'm not in his weight class and I'm retired. But he better worry about Hunter right now because Hunter has been a game, not only a game fighter, but a fighter with confidence. And he got the right game plan if he can continue to be mentally disciplined to use it.
And Bill Clancy, the referee, calls a halt to the action after what he deemed to be a low blow by Hunter. And Usyk takes a little time to recover. Now they're back in action.
What I saw from Hunter in the last round, Bernard, is you talk about the mental discipline. It's one thing to box well against the champion. When that guy then makes adjustments, the champion makes adjustments and has a better round, it starts bringing it to the contender. Does the contender get hoodwinked, convinced that he can't hang, or does he come right back? Hunter came right back.
Well, Hunter,
he wasn't conned into thinking he didn't belong here.
He's going to come back because, A, he's undefeated, and he's fighting Usyk, who's undefeated. The mentality of both guys is they don't have a loss, and they don't want to lose. So it's a tug of war between who's going to give in and who's not going to give in. And Hunter right now is holding his own against Usyk.
Sometimes the contender might feel like the champion is like, you know, the tide is coming and there's nothing that can stop it. It's kind of destined.
Well, both of these guys think they're champions because they're fighting that way.
Hunter fought right back and is still doing his best and is, you know, maybe up on the cards.
And in this fight, I believe as long as it goes the way it's going now, it's going to go down to nutrition and the best skills and who do the best strategy to be able to offset the other guy. And that means continue to move if it's Hunter or if it's Usyk to continue to beat the body like he just threw 2 body shots just now.
And there's the left hand because Usyk finally has him moving in the direction he wants, which is counterclockwise. When Hunter moves that way, Usyk has him lined up for the straight left hand.
Hunter got to know that he can't stay there and be successful. And that's why he's grabbing. But he must not stay there. He has to stay in the middle, and he got to continue to move and get out of the way of fire.
The geometry that changed was at the end of the third round. Usyk landed the right hook and gave Hunter something to think about moving counterclockwise, and that's been a boon for Usyk.
Alexander Usyk's urge to throw as many punches as possible offers Hunter constant countering opportunities, so that every time Usyk gets Hunter in trouble, Hunter has the chance to land something back and shift the tide again. And it's happened several times in the fight.
Hunter seems not to be throwing harder punches, but he's throwing punches consistent and is offsetting Alexander Usyk because he's trying to throw one big punch like he just threw a straight left, but he's not putting punches. Alexander Usyk is not throwing punches in combinations. Now he just threw it, but he was off angle.
And he takes a right hand in return.
And takes a right hand in return because he's off angle. He can't get in front of the guy and expect not to hit the guy if he's on angle.
But Usyk is beginning to achieve the punch-by-punch dominance he's looking for as he's had a big round here in the 5th, landing a lot of power shots.
Mike, listen. You got to double, triple your jab, and bank him. You understand? He got one hand he's looking for, and that's the left. Stay off the line, son.
Hey, go to your left, okay? Why are we fighting two people? Go to your left. I want this, right? This is what we worked on. I need my hooks here. Right hand's here. Left hook to the body. Fight one hand.
Just for the world title. We don't get time.
Comba, okay? Good comba. And Ivan, okay?
Mike, please, keep him up. Right there.
CompuBox numbers through round 6, they have landed, through round 5, coming into round 6, they've landed exactly the same number of punches, basically, with Hunter throwing more to this point in the fight. But in round 5, Usyk landed 32 of 103 total punches, by far his best statistical round in the fight. You saw that Michael Hunter's trainer, Otis Pimpleton, has brought in Barry Hunter, the veteran Washington, D.C. trainer, as a chief second in the corner, and Hunter did all the talking in the last between rounds period. That's not a bad choice, Max. He's a great tactician.
Yes, and from the area, and does a great job. This is a critical round for Hunter, I think. If Usyk is up on the cards, he's just up on the cards because of the last round. But the main thing is he's coming on in the fight and seeming to land more and hurt Hunter with some of these shots. Hunter needs to make a stand in this round to stop that momentum.
Hunter, when he gets lazy or he gets sort of, their headlights, he will take a big blow. And he got to continue to keep moving, not on the ropes, but he has to stay in the center of the ring, and that's the only way Oleksandr Usyk is going to be offset. And he has to offset him with his feet, and he has to offset him with his punches. So all these things got to work in a combination.
In the third round, Usyk couldn't come near him with the left hand because he was nowhere to be found. He was outside of Usyk's right foot, and that was when Hunter was doing his best work.
Oleksandr just threw a couple of jabs, and I think if he stick and be confident in that jabs and throw a hard punch after those jabs and set up something after that, I think he'd be successful. But this is the first time I'm starting to see him do 2 or 3 jabs, but not the right hand behind it, which I think eventually he will start doing.
Usyk is a second half of the fight type of fighter.
And that's why I think that Hunter needs to go ahead and try to do something now to try to make him at least think twice about walking in.
Now referee Bill Clancy wants to kick some debris out of the ring momentarily. For the first 2 minutes of this round, it appears that the advice between rounds from Barry Hunter, no relation, to Michael Hunter, has stabilized Michael Hunter again and put him back into the fight tactically after Usyk had the big 5th round.
Although Usyk just landed 3 shots upstairs in a combination.
And Hunter took it well. Hunter, he took it pretty well. I mean, he took it well and stayed there, and he continued to throw punches as he just threw a right uppercut right there from the angle.
Fighters like Usyk, who are good second half of the fight fighters, it reflects conditioning, but look at this, but also boxing IQ. Bernard, you were that way. Floyd Mayweather's that way.
Look at the multiplicity of punches from Usyk. He throws a lot, and he throws from various different angles.
They take some rounds to figure you out, and then they implement the game plan based on what they've learned about you early in the fight.
It's called the trunk has warmed up, Jim. And he's warmed up because now he's throwing more than one punch, and he's more confident now, got a little hop to his step, and he's throwing punches, and he's really in his flow right now.
Right hook to finish the round for Oleksandr Usyk. April 24th, we kick off the countdown to the May 6th super fight between Canelo Alvarez and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. with Canelo Chavez, a fighting tradition, which offers a look at the 2 Mexican superstars against the backdrop of hailing from the world's most passionate boxing culture. April 29, the countdown continues with Face Off, Canelo Chavez, as both fighters join Max Kellerman for a face-to-face interview in advance of their upcoming pay-per-view showdown. Max, one word to characterize that face-off?
Intense.
Okay, looking forward.
Deep breath, hold it. Deep. Listen. Can you give me a good round on that? You got him going, okay?
Come on. Let's go.
We are halfway through the fight. Oleksandr Usyk of Ukraine In the blue, yellow, and white trunks, Michael Hunter of the United States in the red with gold trim. Harold Letterman, halfway through. How do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim, I got it 4 rounds to 2. 58-56, Oleksandr Usyk. You know, Jim, somebody said a few rounds ago, I don't know who it was, but somebody said that, you know, they don't exactly look the same size. They don't. I mean, watching these two guys, I swear to God, I think Usyk is 10 pounds heavier and certainly a lot stronger and certainly landing a lot harder punches. Michael Hunter scores. He piles up his points by getting off first. He gets that left jab in Usyk's face just like he did there. He gets off first, and and the judges got to give him credit, just like he did there. But I've given Usyk the last 3 rounds. I thought he did very well in 5 and 6. I thought he hurt Hunter in 5 and 6. 4-2, Usyk.
And here's how good your eyes are, Harold. You say that you think Usyk looks 10 pounds heavier.
Correct.
On our unofficial HBO scale, Usyk was 9.5 pounds heavier at 207.
We're way off,
as
Harold,
to
way off.
97.5. Yes. So good look.
A half a pound, Harold. You're slipping.
I'm telling you.
Hunter does better when he's taking those subtle movements to the left, to the right, but he can't pull back with his hand like that because now Usyk is pop-shotting with a left, then right, then combinations.
It's highly unusual, as I mentioned before the fight, for a fighter to weigh in before the fight at 198 midday Friday and arrive at the ring weighing 197.5, a half pound less on Saturday night. I have to assume Hunter wanted that he wanted to be lighter than Usyk so that he could move faster.
Guys, not only is Usyk a tremendous fighter, and Hunter's really acquitting himself very well here, but Hunter hasn't fought in a year, just about. I mean, he's been in action.
11-month layoff.
He's doing this against the best guy in the division, likely, as off a long layoff. It's an impressive performance, win or lose.
Absolutely right.
Chop throw is going to be a really difficult task to be able to.
Good uppercut.
To be able to withstand the pressure of Oleksandr, who continue forward with air muffs up and come right forward. But he's handling. He's handling real good. Hunter's handling with jabs. I like to see him throw combinations more now and not arm punches.
See, a lot of it when people say, well, what does he have to figure out in the first several rounds? Well, where is Hunter going to be? What are Hunter's tendencies? How does he react to feints? How does he react to the jab? When will he be open for one?
You would expect Usyk to have advantages in speed and mobility against almost any cruiserweight in the world. He does not have a big advantage in speed and mobility here tonight against Michael Hunter.
Very nice.
And as Oleksandr Usyk performs in the ring, his Ukrainian countryman, Vasily Lomachenko, with his father, Anatoly Lomachenko, next to him, and hidden behind Anatoly's shoulder, Alexander Vostik, all watching the fights together.
Bueno. Hey, he cannot get confident. You fucking machine, remember? You machine, okay? You machine. You work, not him work. Get confident. You break it, okay? Okay. You remember in gym, levaya. Let it go, flag it down.
So,
nice and clean, fellas.
Rather concerted instructions between rounds from Russ Anber. One thing we've learned already is that Usyk does not always directly follow the instruction he's given. 2 rounds ago, Anber was very, very straightforward and concerted in saying, I want body punches this round. Usyk came out and didn't throw any body punches in that round. He was hammering Hunter upstairs.
He's not listening to his corner. He came right out, air muffs up, and straight right hand, 1 punch at a time. Just got countered by Hunter. And you know what? If he continued to do that, I want to see Hunter now take advantage of that. Go with the jab. The headbutt right now accidentally looks like they both ran into each other. But I want to see Hunter take advantage of him. No, let the referee do his job. Throw the jab in from Hunter and work the body.
Well, Russ Anber knows what he's talking about, but Usyk is the one in there, and he's an experienced fighter and he sees what he sees and tries to take advantage of that. He may not always agree with the instructions of the corner.
But sometimes you got to, too, look at it that the trainer knows more and has more eyes in the ring than you have. You're watching a guy in front of you, but the corner man is outside watching.
Did you always listen to your corner, Bernard?
No. But when I got to the corner and it was in between rounds, Nazim Richardson always gave me instructions and I carried him out. But when it comes to being in the ring, I don't hear anybody. I don't even hear the crowd. I go right forward.
But you did carry out the in-between rounds instructions, you're saying?
You have to. I did.
You want to see an accurate puncher when you're in against a defensive fighter. And look what Usyk's doing. And you're able to land combinations upstairs in the middle of the ring. And that's very impressive.
And Oleksandr is what we call rubbernecking. He's rolling with the punches, but it definitely don't look good on TV, I don't think, when you're rooting for Hunter, but it don't look good for the judges who they're going to vote for, because the judge is not going to believe you're winning when you get hit like that, or rubbernecking.
Hunter came back with some good shots of his own just then.
But I don't think there was shots enough to get Usyk's attention, because they're more arm punches, and he's not getting any respect from Usyk because of those light punches. Accurate, but not meaningful, or punches that make you respect Hunter's power. Hunter better be very careful staying in the pocket and looking at his work when he get done punching. Well, he's going to get countered with a hard punch.
You talk about mental endurance. Right now, Hunter, who's shown very good mental endurance so far, his mental endurance, and sometimes that's, you know, tied to your conditioning and physical fatigue. His mental endurance seems to be wavering a little bit.
And you saw the CompuBox numbers at the bottom of the screen, which demonstrate to you that Usyk has landed twice as many power punches in the round. Hunter has had his moments, but generally speaking, Usyk is again beginning to take control of the flow of the fight. 8 rounds done, 4 rounds to go.
Listen. Deep breath. Suck it up, Michael. I need that.
Very nice. Very good. Good, Sasha? You feel good? You're good. Body is good, okay? Close. Pressure. Hey, broken, okay? Broken fucking balls, okay?
Hunter is on his heels, but now he's trying to hold, but when he's on his heels, he get caught with punches going back, and then he tries to roll, what we call rubberneck in boxing. He needs to stay off the rope, and he needs to try to fire back when he's being fired on.
Is there a danger with Hunter moving as much as he is that when he gets caught, he gets knocked off balance and makes the punch look bigger for Usyk than was actually the case?
It is a danger, especially when he's not punching. He must punch. If he's going to move back, he must move not straight back. He must move to the left or the right to avoid any contact.
He was rubbernecking a lot, and a lot of those punches were missing. But I have seen instances in this fight where Usyk's been able to land a 1-2 at least upstairs in the middle of the ring, and that's not easy.
As we come to the 9th round, Harold Lederman has Usyk winning 5 rounds in a row. So it's getting more and more difficult, at least from Harold's perspective, for Michael Hunter to win a decision in the fight. And certainly up to this point, it has appeared that if one of the two is the bigger puncher, it's Usyk, not Hunter.
Hunter's look like he's fighting a technical fight, and Usyk is fighting an aggressive fight. And if Hunter don't let those hands go and try to win these rounds on, then he's going to be way back and he's going to need a knockout to win. And he don't have a big punch, as we've been seeing.
Keep turning him, Michael. Keep turning him, Michael. Angles on him, Michael.
Well, if Usyk were to win this round, he would then have 7 rounds won on Lederman's scorecard. Now, there isn't always a direct correspondence between what Harold Lederman sees and what official judges see. So we have to emphasize that he is our unofficial ringside scorer. Hunter's activity level now begins to drop a little bit, and that makes it easier for Usyk to put combinations together.
Well, when Usyk sees no punches coming, he's confident, he's a straightforward guy. He will break you down even more and be more confident on coming in. But as long as he continues to get those jabs that Hunter is giving him 3 or 4 or 5 jabs, and Hunter is only jabbing because the pressure is coming and he know it. So it's more of a desperation retaliation that Hunter's doing.
Just as Hunter's timing in his best round, the third, was impeccable. Usyk's timing on the jab now is the difference in the fight at the moment, I think. Bernard, he's able to land it and throw it when Hunter's not expecting it. Now it's Usyk with the kind of offbeat rhythm on the jab that's disrupting everything Hunter's trying to do.
Well, I think Hunter is expecting it to come from anywhere, left or right, you know, but I think his reaction to it is not quick enough. And you know what? Maybe he's low-winded. He took a lot of punches. He sure enough threw a lot of punches. But I think the pressure, the mental pressure that he's feeling every round is sort of making him hesitate and sort of wear him down mentally. Body shots is going to take really a big toll on Hunter as these rounds get into the championship rounds, because Hunter is not really retaliating back. He's throwing one shot and moving.
Hunter looked off that punch well, but to your point, Bernard, that may have scored on the judges' cards.
Tuesday, April 18. It's the premiere of The Next Real Sports, which, in the light of the deaths of several Dominican major leaguers in car accidents, visits the island nation to learn why the Dominican Republic is one of the most dangerous places on earth in which to drive a car. April 19, the fight game returns. Join me, Max Kellerman, Bernard Hopkins, and Melissa Stark as we look ahead to Canelo versus Chavez and try to make sense of Triple G's close call and Chocolatito Gonzalez's controversial loss in Madison Square Garden.
Jab, he falling low. Look underneath with the up. You got me? Not from a distance. Hold the phone, get in there, and shoot that shit underneath. Okay. All right? Let the jab set it up.
This coming back on the outside. No, step.
CombiBox numbers through round 9 as we go into the 10th. Usyk has 55 more landed punches now than Hunter has thrown 25 fewer. And in round 9, Hunter went only 11 of 49. Low for the fight, both in landed punches and in thrown punches. So Hunter's energy level dropped significantly in the 9th round.
Hunter's starting to feel those body punches, but to get his energy up, he's going to have to do this. Jab, step to the left, step to the right. He must continue to churn Usyk every chance he gets. As long as he's standing in front of him, he's not going to win these rounds, and he's not going to be able to be effective.
Harold, give us your unofficial score to this point in the fight.
Okay, Jim, I got an 88-83. 7 rounds to 2, Oleksandr Usyk. You know, Jimmy keeps backing him up. I mean, early in the fight, Hunter was getting off first, you know, scoring points by getting off first, backing up Usyk. But the last 5-6 rounds, Usyk is just backing him up. In round 8, I thought Bill Clancy was looking at Hunter like he was just about ready to stop the fight. I mean, I think Hunter's been hurt seriously a couple of times. It just goes to show how Usyk has got more power than Hunter does. Anyway, 7 rounds to 2, Oleksandr Usyk.
The left hand to the body is the second time I saw it hurt Hunter this round. That's the 3rd time right there. See where Hunter's elbow's placed after those left hands to the body? And Usyk sees it to his credit. Not enough fighters follow up on those kind of advantages, especially to the body. Usyk is relentlessly pounding the same spot with the left hand. That's 8 or 9 of them now.
He got a reaction. Usyk got a reaction. It was a straight left max right from a southpaw stance. And you know what? Hunter had no answer for that.
Well, his answer is the uppercut now. As Usyk's leaning in, he's trying to ward him off with the uppercut, but defensively, he doesn't have anything for him.
But Usyk now should go up top, fake it to the body, and go right to the top, the left or right hook, or both.
It's really interesting to watch Usyk's tactical flow. Some rounds, like this one, he goes body, 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 body all the time. Some rounds, like the preceding couple of rounds, it's all upstairs. And I think he's doing it to throw the opponent off.
Well, and I think in this round, he just noticed that he hurt Hunter with the left hand to the body, so let's keep going there. Hunter's starting to load on the right uppercut to try to stop it.
Hunter right now is just basically holding on right now for rounds to this round to end and hopefully get into the next one with a better vision.
I think
right now he's getting hit with some good shots, and it might be over this round.
Yeah, that's those left hands to the body that did it.
Now those punches not connecting, and he's telling Usyk to come on. But if he get hit with a solid shot, I don't think he's going to recover, Max.
Well, the right uppercut is Hunter's best friend right now.
Hunter fighting back. Just at the moment you thought he might be giving in, he responds with another rally of his own. But all in all,
look at him, he's loading.
Usyk, based on those body shots, has had a big 10th round. Good right hand by Hunter. Usyk keeps firing.
Get your legs up on you, okay? Get your legs up on you. You gotta bend your knees.
Blow it up.
But you gotta step around.
You heard him.
You got it. But you gotta keep your hands up. Bend your knees. Get your legs up on you. Open up. Listen, to your left again, okay? You got it fighting, you block.
He's tricking Usyk, sort of trick Hunter like he's throwing really a straight punch, but he throws a left straight to the body because he's seen the body from the last round and he's working the body more because he got a reaction from Hunter that he doesn't like that.
Let's go, let's go.
So Oleksandr Usyk, a Ukrainian fighter with a home court advantage here at MGM National Harbor, just next to the Potomac River in Lower Maryland, very close to Washington, D.C. Whoever chose this as the venue for a card on which the three signature fighters in the last three events are Ukrainian fighters chose well, because this is a Ukrainian rooting crowd. They've been rooting for Usyk, and quite clearly they'll probably do the same thing for Vostok. And then when Lomachenko comes into the ring, well, he's the person they're here to see.
Those left hands to the body early in the round took the starch out of Hunter. And then later just he punished Hunter. And I was about to say he's looking for that again, I'm sure. And he just landed one, like in the previous round where he landed it early. He didn't go back again for about 30 seconds. And then he started tattooing Hunter in that spot with the left hand.
And see, no matter what Hunter do outside right now, there's so many rounds in where Usyk know that the power is not there, so he can take more chances, and he will take more chances. And that's why he's got the hop, that's why he's got the jab, and he's putting the pressure on Hunter because he know that he don't have to worry about anything. What Hunter has to do is set traps and trick him and let him know that he do have something to offer, but he can't do it backing up and not punching.
Break, step, lock.
This is where the extra weight that Usyk is bringing in and the power and the strength become overwhelming to Hunter. And it looks like Hunter is just right now just trying to avoid any big punches because he won't be able to retaliate back.
And this is the first time that Michael Hunter has been to the 11th round. Usyk went the distance in beating Klovatsky for the Cruiserweight crown, so he has been in this situation before.
Hunter just took 3 or 4 punches upstairs, took it well, but if he continued to take punches like that and not get the respect from Usyk, I think it was going to be really, really coming to an end.
Hunter's shown a lot, even surviving the last round where it looked like Usyk was on his way to a stoppage win.
Has Hunter shown a great chin, or should we question Usyk's power?
I don't think Usyk's a devastating puncher. He's not a terrible puncher, but obviously not a big one.
I don't think he has the really mindset, discipline to continue to keep coming forward and throwing punches to try to get the knockout. I think he takes a break when he don't get it. Maybe questioning is his conditioning. Maybe he's questioning the chin of Hunter. I think it's both.
Power punches through the 11th round. Usyk has landed 190 out of 363. That's 52%. He's never had Hunter anywhere close to being knocked out or going down.
Stepping around, but you gotta work. I need you moving your hands. Bring your hands, both hands back up.
Michael, touch him up. Good luck to you.
I need you to keep working.
You got it, dog. This is championship round, son. You gotta let it go. You feel me?
How you feel? Like the champ.
And you work defense, and combat. Okay? Okay? Yes. All right. Last round, champion. Finish
Deep
strong.
breath.
Finish strong.
Deep breath.
Finish real strong, man. Well, we can't chase him out. Let's go. All right,
Okay. Here's an interesting number, guys. In his last 6 fights, Usyk was landing an average of 9 power punches per round. Very jab-centric offense. Tonight, he reverses it. He's landing 17 power shots per round. Far fewer jabs than has been the case in the past.
That suggests a full toolbox and the ability to take out the tool necessary to get the job done.
And that's what he's done well. He took it out. He had some problems doing it earlier, but then he got warmed up. Usyk got warmed up, got adjusted, and figured out what he needed to do, and he's been doing it ever since.
I think we can surmise that all of Hunter's movement in the second and third rounds convinced Usyk that his jab wasn't going to be as effective tonight and that he would have to dig to the body to win this fight.
Although I do think the jab helped set up the offense midway through the fight and was useful for a while, though you're right, he seems to shelved it after the middle rounds. It took him a while to start throwing it. He used it for a couple rounds and put it away.
Again, like I said, when your opponent realizes that he can take your punches, he will take more risks, and he will come forward with all the skills that he has. And
Harold Letterman gave the second and third rounds to Hunter. In the fourth round, Usyk began firing to the body and learned that he could land to the belly. That changed the fight.
Took the legs out of Hunter, and right now Hunter is hurt with a left hook, and it might be over.
This would be big for Hunter to survive this right now and go the distance.
Referee Bill Clancy watching carefully. Usyk drives Hunter into the ropes again.
Hunter should take a knee here if he wants to go the distance and clear his head. Instead of trying to stay upright where he's likely to get stopped, take a knee.
Well, he's getting hit with some blows, and right now he's in danger to get knocked out.
Yep.
Bill Clancy is giving a standing count to Michael Hunter.
Yes, because his butt hit the ropes.
His butt hit the ropes.
So he's being generous and saying that the ropes held him up in order to give him a little breather because Hunter wasn't wise enough to take one himself.
Now he's going to take a really big beating because he can't defend himself, and he's really hanging in the wind right now. I think he should stop this fight.
Clancy's doing everything possible to try to let Hunter finish the fight. Out of respect for what the fighter has done, but he may get Hunter hurt as the result of that decision.
But Jim, even if Hunter hit Usyk with anything, he can't hurt him because he don't even have his bearings or legs, or his mentality is not there to fight back.
No, I think Clancy's taking a risk with Hunter's help.
I agree, and the corner is as well, and Hunter is as well. But I think Hunter is fighting for the pride, wise or not, of going the distance with the champ.
Usyk should be going right to the body because that right now will really take everything out of Hunter.
And now Hunter's going to survive this and probably finish the fight.
Maybe not. Even though there are 8 seconds, it's not too late to stop it.
8 seconds is a long time.
Long time.
Throw punches back, and over 10 punches been thrown just now.
He made it.
Not as if the competitive issue was in doubt. Bill Clancy leans over backward to allow Michael Hunter to finish the fight.
And that's one of those instances where you can see the argument on either side. I think generally in those situations err on the side of caution. But Hunter, as it turns out, does go the distance.
Now we have a technical innovation here called RefCam. Bill Clancy is actually wearing a camera in the ring. And now we're going to show you some of the action in that round back from the RefCam in real speed, in real time, and let you see what it was that Clancy was looking at. This is his angle. And we're going to take you all the way through the standing count, which took place because Clancy gave Hunter credit for having hit the ropes with his butt, in effect calling that a knockdown.
Claiming the ropes held him up. That would be the rationale for the standing 8. Right there.
Very exciting round for the Ukrainian fans who have been chanting Usyk, Usyk, Usyk throughout the fight.
You good?
Clearly, Michael Hunter wanted to finish at all costs, and he did.
By the way, the ref got that right. The ropes did hold him up. Without the ropes there, it would have been a knockdown. Likely.
Right here.
You see the veteran Don Turner in Usyk's corner. Longtime trainer of Evander Holyfield back in the day. Very big factor in the rise of Sergey Kovalev.
And by the way, that ref cam, Jim, did reveal why the ref let the fight continue, because a lot of those shots were missing. So a few of them were landing cleanly, enough to stop the fight, but enough were missing where he never felt like Hunter was in, I guess, grave danger.
But one shot
could have done it.
Could have done it,
Yep.
and that one shot might be the one you don't want to
But
stop.
as we all observed earlier, Usyk's feet are moving so much of the time and moving at such speed that he never plants himself in such a way as to really try to make himself a devastating power puncher. He's not sitting down on his punches.
No, he's not. He's actually trying to get the punch and get points, but he's not putting power behind the punches to get the respect that other...
It'll be interesting to see if he chooses to do so. If he doesn't, I'm not sure he can be as effective as he thinks at heavyweight.
I don't think so, Jim.
He might remain a cruiserweight if that's the way he's going to fight. If he's going to fight at heavyweight, logic tells you he must make every power shot count more.
Well, you have to get the respect of the really big guys.
I mean, there have been heavyweights who Michael Spinks functioned as a heavyweight, and he wasn't sitting down on his punches. Let's go to Michael Buffer with the official decision in the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards here at the MGM National Harbor. All three judges score it 117 to 110 to the winner by unanimous decision. Still WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World, still undefeated, from Simferopol, Ukraine, Alexandrovich Usyk.
Let's take a look at final CompuBox numbers in the fight. Oleksandr Usyk ultimately landing 131 more punches than Michael Hunter. They were fairly even through 4 rounds. Usyk throwing 111 more punches and throwing 239 out of 453 power shots, landing at a 53% percentage. Hunter, whose feet were moving all the time, not able to land nearly as consistently with his power shots. And in the jab category, Usyk throwing 452. So ultimately, he averaged nearly 40 jabs per round, landing at an 18% percentage, which is higher than most fighters land at. Hunter landing his jab pretty well, 72 out of 376. All in all, those numbers supporting the decision in favor of the cruiserweight titleist Oleksandr Usyk, actually champion of the division. We are at the MGM National Harbor in Oxon.